Oh, welcome back to Aldridge Farm on Farming Simulator 15. Yes, I'm still playing the old way. I'm having to record the sound afterwards. I kept getting crashes, and I'm hoping I'll sort it out now by updating Audacity. We'll soon find out anyway. Alright, what we're up to today? Well, I hitched up to the second cultivator, and I'm going to give a bit of a hand up on 19 safe. It's the last field we've got to do, and it's Tom busy on there, and he's done a grand job up there. As you can see, if you look up there, I've still got the frame counter running. We're not running terribly well at the moment. We'll have to sort out of the files for this particular map. I've been playing around with, I've got rather a large mod file which I think I need to pull down a bit and make a little bit better. Any road. What have we been up to? Well, after the Crawford Browns were beaten yet again, they will be wanting to get that arm back at some point, and my feeling is Tom is going to be the one they're going to try and get the arm back on. And he's not doing too bad. He's over halfway now by the looks of it. But I'll just do a little bit down the bottom end here just to show will and show how it should be done. But perhaps not. We'll get in position. As you can see, we've had some beat. For some reason, grew on the outside of this field last year. Never did figure out why. And we'll use a bit of GPS on there, but I had a little bit of problem sorting out what width it is, because a lot of field I didn't bother to check. I thought it's a 3 metre unit, and as will be proved, it isn't. I didn't actually manage to get that very straight, but there. Right, and I also then discover I haven't got, for some reason I left it like that, that's miles out. I haven't got a key binding for GPS at all. I overlooked that. Oh, we get started, and I blow the horn instead. I'm getting the right model here, trying to remember what keys does what on 15 compared to 17. Yeah, it says put the brake. I'll show you. This is where I was looking for a see if I had a key bind, and I decided at some point I decided I haven't about here. So we have to do it this way around. And the frames are going up now as we're sitting here doing nothing. I also discovered, because I've got weights at the front, I thought I had got weights on this for some reason. And it's dragging on the ground, which is not the best place to have your weights. We bring it up, of course the tractor go a little bit stupid. Right, let's see what else has been happening. Right, we'll get on with the story. Kylie wanted to talk to me about something a little while ago. Whilst Tom was busy out here again, as is his wont, poor lad. And she started to say something, and whatever it was she wanted to say, she was finding it rather difficult to say. And to be honest, I still don't know what it was. But we heard this vehicle turn up in the yard. Horn blew, we looked round. It was Paul in his van. He's got a van been converted by Motability, which is a charity in Britain which converts vehicles for the disabled. And the head of a van, what they've done is quite clever. It's got automatically open rear doors with an automatic ramp, all controlled by a little remote control device. So he opens the doors, let the ramp down automatically, then with his motorised wheelchair he drives up into the back of the van, through the van into the driving compartment, which the chair is then locked into place, and he's ready to drive away. All hand controls, because there's no use of his legs whatsoever, which is a shame. As those who don't know, he had a bit of an all nasty when he tried some hang gliding. The hang glider collapsed in mid-air. One of the main spars snapped, and he tumbled down into the ground, which broke his back and done all kinds of nasty things. His back is now mended. It's not broken anymore, but they're sort of locked a bit in place. It's the only way they could do it. His legs are recovered, but he can't use them. But he's going to be disabled for the rest of his life. So he's got this chair. He's still actually in the convalescent home, having some hard physio, but he had to go and pick this van up, which the convalescent home drove him up there in their van, and he's trying it out. Not for the first time. He said it a couple of days, so he's saying, but this is it. He decided to come and see what we're up to. This is why I discovered too that the width I thought it wasn't. I don't know if at this point I decided to see sense and have a look at the actual width of the thing. Yes, I do. And we wheel through everything we've got here. As you see, we've got a lot of mods. This is just the stuff actually I'm using in the game. Here we decide it's a 4 meter. Yes. I never trust OBS to give me the right width, but this time we decided to go with it. So I'd increase up to 4 meters and give that a go and see what happens. And for some reason we put the brake on again. Oh well. And then I forget to drop the cultivator into the ground. But, you can't put it where it isn't, as my old chap always used to say. Alright, Paul says he'll be back for harvest. He won't be, because he won't be working on the fields anymore, but he will be in the office trying to sort out things that end, which will take some of the strain off mother-in-law, who is the one who's been looking after everything up till now. She's the computer expert of the family. Not apart from my son, but he lives away now with his husband. They got married a while ago, and a very nice day it was too. The daughter, of course, is also married with a child, and all living away. My wife and myself decided to stay here and just make the best of it. We're happy in our own little world. So now Paul had a cup of tea, then he went off, but before he went, he asked where he's going to live afterwards. He can't carry on living in his house he's got now. And it's not big enough to convert the downstairs to the living quarters room. There isn't any actual bungalows in the area, but there's a couple of places which might suit better. One of them being, of course, where her ladyship lives. I've got to find out what they're going to do, because her and Charles are getting married, and rumour has it they're going to be married in the West Indies, where they are at the moment. I'm hoping when they come back they will be moving somewhere else, and I might be able to rent their place from them. I will actually inquire. I might just put in a long distance phone call during the course of the day when I figure out what time it actually is in Barbados. I've got Charles's mobile number, if he remembers to switch it on. I also got a ladyship, so one of them found it on, and I was just asking to find out what is what and whether it's possible. I would like to keep Paul in the village, mainly so we can all keep an eye on him, and also so he isn't late for work. That's more a joke than anything. He's never late, that guy. In all the years I've known him, he's always been there on time. Charles quite often turned up middle of the afternoon, especially if he had a good session in the morning, or the night before, I mean. There was times he didn't go to the pub until the next day. But he's a changed man now. Funny what the love of a good woman can do. And her ladyship is a good woman. Now you might all remember her ladyship. She's down to earth, shall we say. She swears like a trooper. She enjoys a drink, which was suit Charles down to the ground. And after her husband died, I think she's been a bit lonely, especially with Melissa taking over the business, and now is the lady of the manor. So the ladyship's got nothing really that much to do. She's still in charge of the stables, which is where, well, not where they met up. They met up actually when Charles was in prison after bopping Sprake solicitors to this parish. After he'd come there on business from the Crawford Browns, trying to get me to change my mind on some of his threats and what have you. Might as well Charles done that if not had a shot, the beggar. I don't think I've been out yet. And this is where I realise I haven't turned the GPS on. Yes, things don't get any better with me. So we go and do the same bit again. That's a good job Tom doesn't do all this. And because Tom now has got insurance now, it's allowing him to drive all our vehicles except for the combine at the moment. But I'm working on that. And so he's out with the JCB, I think enjoying himself actually being able to use that. Mind you, you'd have to use that for that, for the power harrow, which he's got on the back. It takes 200 odd horsepower. The poor little steer would not cope with it. I think it's about 114 brake horse. It just about ploughs. And this was all ploughed by Tom. We ploughed this field, we put down some slurry, get the nutrients well up. And that was a auto save. So I've set up to come out of character for a moment. So what else has been going on in the village? Oh yes, one thing I've been doing with Tom, I'll get back to Tom again for a while. I've been putting the word about that, how well he's working and how well he's doing. Because you may not know if you're only new to the series, but those have been with me for a while will know that he's an ex-jailbird. He's got a partner, they've got a couple of kids between them. Oh, and he spent just about all his life in and out of prison, mainly for burglary and such like, and sometimes getting drunk and disorderly and other things, not minor offences, but someone in the court system decided it might do him some good to actually have a full-time job where he's actually important, which is where I come in. For some reason they decided that I'd be the right one to deal with. I don't know why. Possibly some of my past is coming back to bite me. But we decided to take him on after talking it over with Kylie and getting Charles is okay, because Charles is still a minor shareholder in the company. Kylie, of course, is equal share partner with me at the moment. I will have to, if Tom stays and he's willing to stay, I will actually bring him in and give him some shares as well. May not be a full partnership, we will see. And I decided the easy way now is to do the headland. As you can see, there's some beat here at the side. Oh, I wish I knew why I'd done that. But it's going to be beat on the whole field this year. Oh, next year. No, this year. Yes, early summer. Get this done, then I can bring the planter over and we get this planted. And that's then it's going to be my next task. Because Tom has got to actually go for a couple of days. One thing he's got to go and do is see his probation office, which is not local, because you know how things are now. Nothing is local anymore. Got to go to the other side of the country to sort out a few things. So he might as well take a few days off and we're coop. Kylie at the moment is still over at BP's place looking after the cows while he's in Ireland. He should soon be back again, and we'll get Kylie back in the saddle, so to speak. Which is why she couldn't actually, after Paul left, she didn't have time to explain. She had to go and do mid-afternoon milking, as it was. Alright, that's another problem of Paul and his place to live. I'll tell you what, after we've done this, we'll go for a little drive around. We'll have a quick look where I think he might fit in okay. And we just keep our fingers crossed it's the case. As you see, oh yes, other people around. Chris Webb, who's taken over the Broom place. Taken over management of the Broom place as the young Broom went back to head office. He's took over managing the local outpost. He came over, showed him the barley, the organic barley we'd grown from Placide, and the wheat. He seemed quite pleased with it. Seems a nice chap. It's going to take me a little while to fit into the place, I reckon. But I think he'll be okay. We're getting round to our way of thinking. And what is happening? Oh yes, we need some money. As you may notice, we're 22,000 in the red. But at least the bank loan's paid off. And we should make a pretty penny this year. We've got field 1, of course, is maize to be foraged to go into the BGA. We're going to run 1, possibly 2 bunkers there. Get that done. Get some easy money in. I just hope they get round, and this year they're going to feed the digesters, not expect us to do it for them. I bet I have to lend them the JCB loader again. Swing around and go across here, or try and go across there. And decide we better get the cruise speed down, not just for when we're actually cultivating, but all travel at the moment. It's a little bit too quick. And as you can see Tom up there working hard. But as we carry on and do this, then we'll go around and do the headland again, do the second headland. Should be most of that done then, and that'll be all done dusted. Any bits what I missed I'm not going to worry about. This is going to be a big enough field to beat. which will be going away as last year out on the train. We will get a little bit of a bonus if that's good enough. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about too is that we need to get some money in so we can rent a harvester for the beet, and I want all-in-one drive along one, not a trialled one, not for this field. The potatoes have to be brought in by with a trialled harvester. That should be fun. I may end up doing that job myself. Just get Tom with the tractor and trailer run it away for me. Now that's going to the pub. You know, George in the pub, he's got a little side business where he's a potato merchant. Yeah, pubs do not always pay for themselves anymore. You need extra strings to the bow. Yeah, I was actually talking to Cuthbert too the other day. Yes, first time I talked to him for some time, and I told him about Tom, about his history. I thought he'd better know. I told a few people that I think I already knew, and the local policeman, of course, the policeman had to know. He's there to keep an eye on things. And if Tom should do anything untoward, he wants to know. That an old-time bad boys in the area. Well, I talked to Cuthbert about him, and he seemed quite keen. He said, and happy. He said, "Well, if you run out of work for him to do, I could find him something to do up on my fruit farm." You may not recall that Cuthbert gave up farming as such and turned all his fields into orchards and fruit production. Now I have a look and see where Tom is, because I think I can just about beat him across there. Would be a high-speed crash anyway, but we beat him. And what we got left here, so I'm not going to worry if we don't get everything. If there's bits we can't plant in, oh well, we will miss those bits. But I'm beginning to get a little bit worried about the lack of rain. We need some rain, as long as it doesn't come at harvest. But as you see, the ground is very dry here. Field should have plenty of nutrients in by the time we're finished. We're ploughed in and now cultivating the rest of the alfalfa, which will give us a bit of a boost. A bit of slurry on it, give us another boost. May spray it with some NPK. We'll see what it's like when we get to the next stage. Now, I take complete leave of my senses there and decide to put it on the GPS again. Now, it didn't occur to me we weren't going to hit the whole slot. About now it occurs to me. Oh well. I shall come back and just clean some of this up later. The worst bits anyway. I decided to take it off GPS and do this by hand. Now, Darren is doing rather nicely with the, well, I call it shop. It's not really a shop anymore. It's a full business. He's making, on paper, he's making plenty of profit, because a lot of it's going into advertising in far-flung reaches of the world about the joys of having British food on your plate, and the fact that he can supply it. We're using quite a few load of meters going out on lorry, and we're using Bates and Davis to do most of the haulage for us, local haulage contractors. They actually had to go and buy a refrigerated trailer the other week just to keep up with everything. The second one, they had one, but they had to buy a second one, and I'll be using those again. We'll probably mow the beat, see how much we get. If we get enough, we'll call them in and get them to mow it for us. As you see, we're getting this headland done. At least this is something he won't have to do. Tom, that is. You see our cows and sheep are okay. We've got the little indicator up there showing no action needed. Chickens tell us to fill water, but we can't. Hopefully we're not killing any chickens off. We'll need to mow some muck out of the cow area and actually get it all out of the rest of it which we've got there. Now here I decide, let's go for a drive round. I think that's about here. Oh no, I do one more strip across. You'd see he hasn't got much to do now, because he's using a 6 metre power harrow. I've got a 4 metre conventional cultivator. One of the things that we do have 2 bits of kit for some things. So I may just sell off one of the smaller ploughs and go and get a slightly bigger plough again. We'll put a 6 furrow, just so we can do a bit more, especially on these fields. It takes a long time with a 4 furrow plough to do this lot. And Tom will tell you that days he's been spending on these. Didn't help he only had the little steer, because he only just pulls the plough. That steer has done remarkable work for us over the years. It's the oldest tractor we've got now, by a long way. Well, mind you, JCB's are warranty and service arrangements now. We have to pay for everything ourselves again. So just to get rid of this bit here, we're standing in the field. Don't like the look of it. And now we go off for a little drive. I'll just drop this off at the farm first, the cultivator. Just leave it in a corner and tidy up at a later date. Do the tidying up when I've got time out there spraying water about again. Oh yes, Paul at the moment lives in one of those houses across the way there. They used to be council houses, but they're now in housing associations. When our government decided that local authorities and the country shouldn't own anything, we should facilitate for the private sector. Yes, well, fine. Doesn't work, but there. But we can't do anything with this house. It's not enough room on the ground floor, and we have no association bungalows in the area, which is a surprise. I would have thought they had some, but the old pit was nothing else. And on our own situation, we had to convert the ground floor and one room there for a bedroom for the mother-in-law, and the rest of it so she can get about quite easily. Let me just drop this off. Well, not a bad little piece of kit. And there we go for a little drive round. And whilst we're getting ready for a drive around, I'll just do my wind down and say thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not a subscriber and actually still wish to see FS15 stuff, feel free to subscribe. The rest of my stuff is on 17, but this one's on 15, just because I happen to like this particular map. If you've got any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions even, feel free to post them in the comments section below this video. I do read everyone, and I try and reply to everyone. And if this hasn't crashed yet, I'm hoping I'll fix it by updating Audacity. Let's have a look now. Coming down here is where a ladyship lives. The next road off to the left. Just here. This is her place. Doesn't look very imposing. You can see it actually is a house, but most of it, the usable areas on the ground floor. I think we can convert that okay, no problem at all. We could this, but it's too big really. And this one at the other end is a bit smaller, just a shade smaller, but not quite big enough. So we'll go back and have a look at the one I think of, and I think we can come to some arrangement with the ladyship. At least I hope so. There we look. It's a rather nice little place. There's a couple of rooms upstairs, but we can convert the rest of it so you can actually live just on the ground floor. And if he needs in the future, he needs someone to help him, they can take up the upstairs. And because it's very handy to the pub. Just one thought, I wonder if you can get done for drunk driving, charge an electric wheelchair. Well, probably. Paul will find out. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to say, it's me saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.